Hello, 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 hello. Check, check, check. One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Yes, 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 yes. Yo, 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 yes. What's going on, people? Is everybody okay? We're back again. Rebel Advocates. What's going on? Um, who is anybody here with me? No?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
Yo, did it, man. Did it.
Oh, you're there. You're there. What's going on, guys? You all right?
There, man. You good?
All good, man. All good.
All good, yeah? All good?
All good.
Definitely,
All
man.
gravy, man. All gravy.
What's been going
Mm.
on, man? What you guys been up to? We haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. What's been going on?
Busy family stuff, uh, school holidays, all that stuff.
Life, yeah. Life just get
Yes,
yeah.
yes, kids off and stuff. But yeah, everything's back to normal now. Everything, kids back at school and yeah, back again.
Wagwan, Johnny. You been all right?
Did it, man. Did it. Just had a nice little week with the family and just chilling out, you know.
Aye. Was
Little
me.
family get together.
Nice, nice.
Aye.
Nice.
So what? Who wants to jump in first? One of you, man, who want to jump in first? Shall we go? What you saying, Johnny? You want to jump in?
I'll
Talk
go
about your
first.
man there. What was this guy's
The
name
boy,
again?
I wouldn't call him that still, but yeah, flipping. It's a basketball player that I used to watch play called Dwight Howard. You may have heard of him. You too.
I haven't.
Yeah, I've heard of him still. Yeah.
I haven't myself, but go
Yeah,
on. Dwight Howard is his
I
name.
know. Yeah, he's played for a few teams. I think like 7, 8 different teams, but he's never. I think they said he's never spent more than 1 year at a club. He's them journeyman, in it. Right? He's been moving around club after club after club, and he's like 37 years old now, and he like plays it over in the Taiwan League out in, I think it's China, Japan, wherever. China,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's out there playing now because he was at the Lakers last season, and now he's out there. But a couple weeks ago now, I was on some looking at some. Is my voice? Is my line going funny? Okay.
Yeah. Now just keep talking.
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I was watching some stuff, and it's like in America, everyone's talking about this situation that happened with him. A couple weeks ago, they were talking about it, but I think it arose. I think it arose back in 2021. So, in back in 2021, he must have
Mm-hmm.
got caught up in some. It's like a sexual assault thing in it with two other men, with like two other men or something in it, and I was just shocked because it was like it was
Sounds dodgy,
something
mate. That
like
sounds dodgy.
he was talking to one man on some dating site, some social media thing, and he arranged to meet up with one guy in it, and then he's obviously went to go link the guy, or the guy's come to link him, and then there's a next guy there as well, and he said basically, I didn't know there was gonna be two of you, so obviously one of them said I'm gonna leave in it, and apparently they're saying my man basically locked the door and said no one ain't going nowhere in it, like, and then obviously whatever's happened in it, something's happened, and then they've obviously one of the men that was involved in the thing obviously made a statement, and he's obviously said once at Howard's home, the man Harper claims they were joined by a man dressed as a woman who identified by the name as Kitty. Harper says he tried to resist the two men, but Howard and Kitty forced him to participate in sexual activity. Mr. Harper was trapped in the defendant's bedroom and believed that he would suffer immediate bodily harm if he resisted defendant's sexual advances. The lawsuit that's filed by one of the men said afterwards, Mr. Harper felt extremely violated and humiliated and was in complete shock. Howard denies the allegation in his response, which says the three men agreed to engage in consensual sexual activity. He asked for a summary judgment with court costs and attorney fees to be assessed against Harper. But my whole thing with this, whatever he wants to do in it. That's his preference, whatever he wants to do. But I was talking with someone the other day, and we did agree, like saying, surely if this was an assault, because it's like everyone in America is taking it as some joke. Everyone's just laughing about it and saying, oh, we didn't, like Howard's a weird guy and all that and shit like that. But I was speaking to someone the other day and we were like, surely if it was a woman or two women, they would have took it more serious and basically like took matters more further, and more people would be like saying more like against it. But right now it's like a big joke and everyone's laughing about it. They've had I seen an interview where they've had Dwight Howard on there, and the first thing the man asked him is, does he prefer men? And the man's like, and then Dwight Howard's like, what business of yours is that, innit? Like, it's none of your business. And then the man's like, but there's been accusations against you. And my man's like, whatever's happened, consensual, innit? Like, you got me on your podcast to ask me that. What if I prefer men or women? And the man's like, but that's what the streets want to know. Like, do you float that way? So it's a bit weird. And then there's a video going around where he went to a basketball match, and he's obviously sat with one team, but he's not playing. He's just there as a guest, and he's kind of like fell into one boy's lap and kind of grabbed up his crutch, innit? And it's like someone's caught that on camera, and I've seen it, and I'm thinking, and like a couple of the players on the NBA team, it's like they looked and they saw it and they looked the other way. So I'm thinking, does everyone know this thing goes on? Or get me, it's all mad. But I want to know what you two think about this whole situation. Obviously, I don't know if you've heard about it or this is the first you're hearing about it. But to me, it's just a bit strange how everyone's turning it, because I don't agree with these things. But obviously, it should be taken more serious. Just the fact that it's two men that he's done this with or whatever, it's like, no one's taking it serious. It's like some joke they're taking it as, isn't it? And I just want to know what you two think about it.
Go on, Artie.
Yeah, I know of him, innit? So I heard a bit about it, and that's what he was saying, innit, Dwight Howard, that his point of view, that everything was totally consensual. And he didn't do anything wrong. But as far as I know, the lawsuit is still standing. He asked for them to kind of dismiss it. He's just basically saying, yeah, it was a consensual thing, and they're just obviously trying to make it up to, so whatever generate a story against him. So yeah, I mean, and I didn't know about his sexuality only to recently, and it didn't he come out recently. Or recent-ish, in it, I think it's come more to light. I think I don't know if it's always been the case. I know there was that guy over there, that other guy. What's his name? Who was talking about his sexuality? What's his name? Skip Bayless. He was on there talking about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He used to do the show with Shannon Sharp, but he don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't do it no more with Shannon Sharp, innit? He left Shannon Sharp, left him.
Okay.
Skip Bayless, yeah. And Yeah, just some old sort of white man, and it must be in his early 70s.
I
And
know
he
who
was
you're talking
criticising
about.
him. Yeah, kind of talking about his sexuality. You might see his face anyway, but I don't know, innit? Nobody really knows. But yeah, I mean, I do probably agree. Like you said, if it was maybe a female, it might be highlighted more. But the case, as far as I'm concerned, is still running. So, boy, you have to see kind of what happens now, innit? You know what I mean? Because like, he's just saying it's a bag of nonsense, basically. And, you know, I mean, everything was fine and they hooked up and they done whatever they done. And it was, you know what I mean, all above board. But obviously the other fella saying, nah, clearly not, you know what I mean?
Because there's that whole thing going, like, is it like a thing where the other guy is trying to just get money out of him, like, basically, like, we know who, get me, we want money or that, or did something really, you know? And obviously, I think his wife's come out and said that my man's always been a bit like funny anyway, so, and he's got kids and stuff like that, so I don't know, man. To me, it's just a bit, you know, it's just, I don't know, man.
Oh,
No, I agree.
So what? Hold on.
Go
Did
on.
you say that he's got a wife and kids? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did she? Do you think that she knew about his preferences?
But apparently, he's been like kind of in the closet for like a little while. From what you're hearing, his wife saying, like, she's always known something's gone.
No, sorry. He said he denies he's gay, but says he enjoys a varied sex life.
Yeah. So
you read into that, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So basically, he's saying he's saying he likes women, but he dibbles and dabbles. Well. Yeah. He dibbles and dabbles with guys as well. So
what? He's bisexual then? Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's bisexual.
No,
yeah?
but that's what he's saying. But he's not. But he's not. But he's basically. It's like what RT just said. He's basically come out and said he's not like that, but he goes with that. It's all crazy, bro.
Yeah, but I think what was interesting was, because I was reading something earlier on a little bit, and they're saying obviously it shouldn't be, people are more looking into his, like kind of you said, Johnny, his sexuality rather than the gravity of the allegation. You know what I mean? It's quite a serious allegation still, but people seem to be more interested on whether he's gay or bisexual or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Because if it was against a woman, it would have been more taken, like I said, more serious. But because the allegations against a man, or a man's making an allegation, everyone in America's just making jokes about it, and it's more about, is he gay or isn't he gay, rather than did he do what he's being accused of or not. And I just find it strange where it's because he's like a public or celebrity figure, and this is like a big story. Everyone's just changing the narrative now, where someone's claimed they've been assaulted by him, but no one isn't, like, it's only, I've seen one person actually say, wait a minute, like, something's taken place, and someone's saying it wasn't consensual, but everyone else is just joking, saying, oh, he's this, he's that, and stuff. And it's just weird, man.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Strange situation. Because I grew up watching this guy play. I'm not saying because of who he is or whatever, but when you grow up watching these like people play sport or whatever, and then you hear something like this, and it's like, one, it's like, right, I didn't know he was like that. But two, it's like, is no one gonna take? Are people not taking this thing serious for what it is?
Well, like I said, I think people are more concerned in sort of taking shots at his sexuality rather than the allegations. The other one, what's the other guy? That Egghead guy, Stephen A. Smith, he was taking shots at him, basically saying about, you know what I mean, whether his sexuality is and stuff. But rather than focus on what is going on, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, in terms of the allegations, which if they're proven, then they're quite serious against him, you know what I mean? if it goes to court, whatever, you know what I mean? If they've got enough evidence or whatever to take it forward, I don't know. But that'll be a bigger thing than whether he's gay or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Whatever his sexual preference, that's up to him, isn't it? I'm not really too concerned about that. It's the assault thing, and it's like everyone's just trying to just brush it under the carpet and just make a joke out of the situation where sexual assault isn't a joke, innit? And it's like people should be taking this more serious and seeing it for what it is. And they're saying from this happened back in 2001, I think they're saying. So it's like it's a good couple years ago it's happened, and it's still like, what? It's just a big joke, isn't it? Like, it's all mad.
Is that the difference between the man and the woman thing? You know, like I was watching some kind of little test. They were doing the test, and it was a man and a woman arguing. Yeah, the man and the woman, they were arguing, and the man was like being abusive to the woman. And all these people just got up and started helping the woman, you know. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But when it was the reverse, some people laughed. Do you know what I mean? Some people laughed at the man. Some people, and nobody helped anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that do you think that's the how we look at certain things when it comes to things against men? They have a look at it as, you know, you should man up, or they see a funny side of it where they don't really take it serious. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's not highlighted as much in it, or it's not like it's just maybe glossed over in it, and like, you know, like you said, the cliche in it, just man up and stuff, and sort of crack on with it. And yeah, that seems to be like that all the time. And maybe this is another case of that, isn't it? Where quite serious allegations of what happened, you know what I mean? Almost like an assault battery thing. And yeah, people are just focusing on something else rather than this strange that he's whatever, gay or whatever, playing basketball and he's gay. That's irrelevant, you know. What should be relevant is what he's alleged to have done, if he done it, you know what I'm saying, obviously. But yeah, again, it must be that, innit? I think that it is sort of a societal thing where I think sometimes if it's like whatever men on men crime, or, you know what I mean, people want to kind of look at it like that, they'll expect you to kind of deal with it in a different way.
Totally, 100%. What do you think about that, Becky? Do you think men are treated a little bit different than women when it comes to something serious like this? Do you think there's a different treatment against men or women? What do you think, Becky? Yes. Yeah, nice one. Any more on that one, Johnny?
Oh.
No?
No. I was just thinking, no, that's really it. Really, that's the whole thing, isn't it? It seems to be, like we said, more focus on the sexuality rather than the crime he's done or the crime he's been alleged to have done. So maybe they should be focusing more on that than anything else, sadly. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it goes, innit, with that.
Nope, fair enough. Johnny, what are you saying? You want to add on to that, or are you cool with that? All right then. Well, let's move on then. You want to jump in, old chap, with your one? CP?
Yeah, man. I'm jumping on some capital punishment, man. I think a while back I talked about sort of other sentencing kind of policies and stuff like that. But this one, I'll just talk about capital punishment and sort of the moral arguments for and against it, kind of a little bit of the history of it, what countries still use capital punishment. And so, yeah, and sort of our opinions of it. And, you know, I mean, is it sort of an outdated medium in terms of the justice system?
Well,
so, yeah, I mean, over in the UK.
Yeah,
sorry, yeah. I mean, over here in the UK, we had capital punishment up until 1969. It was abolished. but not totally, because there were still sort of 2 or 3 crimes that you could still sort of receive the death penalty for. And then up into 1998, it was kind of finally 100% abolished. Last people to be executed over here in the UK were in 1964. But as we know, in many other countries in the world, it's still live and it's still used. Sort of major players such as America and China, and then you've got other countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, and a lot of smaller countries. And if you look in some of the stats, like I was reading about China, so back in a 5-year period, they had killed, and they're pretty weird with their data, the Chinese over there, so they won't really release things accurately. So they only had down as thousands of people were killed. And that was in a 5-year period. And then another 5-year period along, it's just thousands again. And second on that list was Iran, and they'd killed sort of 1,600 people. And then Saudi Arabia, 423. It goes kind of further down, and you get sort of America, 220. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it's been around, I think they're saying, since the 16th kind of century, and other countries have used it. And I think they were saying back in the day, I think if you sort of stole something, you were liable to get the death penalty. Obviously, things have changed since then. Over in America, the youngest person ever to be convicted was a young black boy called George Stanley Jr., who was convicted age 14 and executed. Yeah. You know that one, innit? And then he re-examined it, didn't they, the case?
She threatened, yeah, the woman called rape, and he didn't really do nothing. The guy just looked at her or something, and then she called.
Yeah, really crazy case, unbelievable. I mean, nothing, even how corrupt you might argue certain justice systems are now, you'd think that wouldn't stand up, because they re-evaluated the case and sort of re-examined it in 2004. And it found that obviously he didn't receive a fair trial when he was wrongfully executed. And that was in the States. And you've got sort of major cities in the States such as Texas. They're sort of the leaders in terms of executing people, you know what I mean? Over sort of a 5-year period and stuff like that, got 578 people killed and stuff like that just on that. So these, you know, countries such as America, China, 2 of the major powers, they're still sort of pushing forward with that. And there was something I was reading that was quite interesting, where they were saying, what was it? Since 1973, they said 130 people have been proven that they were innocent, but they were murdered. Obviously, they were sentenced to their death out there in America. I mean, that's just 130. Arguably, you could say there might be many, many more, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I kind of want to talk about some of the sort of, you know, they've got these sort of moral arguments. A lot of them are sort of kind of deeply sort of religious-based arguments, you know what I mean? Kind of things as, you know, such as retribution. So I don't know what you guys think. I'll just pose you this question and see what you think. It's got here, a just society requires the taking of a life for a life. So what do you guys think of that? That's sort of, you know, I mean, an argument for it, the death penalty.
Say that again, old chap. What was that?
Yeah, sorry. It says a just society requires the taking of a life for a life. That's kind of an argument for it.
So what that says, like, if you kill somebody, you must be killed. Is that what they're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's rubbish. That's rubbish, right? Because there's a lot of grey areas on killing somebody. You know,
yeah.
Apart from just straight killing someone, there's all, you know, outside, you know, accidents, push somebody over, hit their head, and all that stuff. A silly little fight could also cause something like that. Did you really mean to kill him? Nah, not really. Should you be
exactly
to kill him?
Exactly? So nah, mitigating really. Circumstances. Exactly. I mean, I don't know what Johnny thinks of that.
No, I agree with Teacher really, because it's like it could be for any reason, that it could be some accidental thing, or you could be defending someone's honor, or you could you could be so it's a gray area for real. So I don't believe in that stuff.
No, I think that's kind of fair points across the board there. I think, and I think there's too many sort of mitigating circumstances to just blanket that. Again, and if you come back to an argument sort of against the death penalty, I pose this one to you guys, and it's kind of self-explanatory, but obviously the risk of executing the innocent precludes the use of the death penalty. So you know what they're saying? They're basically saying, obviously, just by having that death penalty in there, then sadly too many people are going to lose their life innocently. You know what I mean? I don't know what you guys think about that.
Well, go on, Johnny. You want to jump in?
No, go on.
Yeah, no, listen. I mean, look, what are you saying? Obviously, you can't. Sorry, what was it? What was he saying again? No,
I mean, it's basically saying that sort of the risk of executing the innocent precludes the use of the death penalty itself. You know what I mean?
Totally, totally, 100%. So, I mean, we was talking about this earlier, and you cannot. It's outdated, isn't it? I could understand this old thing. It's an old thing. It's an old thing that worked. That it didn't even work then. Do you know what I mean? But
no, of course not.
But it was an old and outdated look of how to try and solve some serious issues. Other than another way like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's not good. It's not good. It doesn't work like that. I mean, and Johnny would know. There was a few people behind the door out there that was innocent and certain things, didn't even do nothing, and they were sitting behind there, and that was just sitting there, and that was, if it was death penalty for them, it would be, there'd be no coming back from that, but that one you can come back from and potentially take some kind of compensation at the end of the day. But still, it's how many years, depending how many years taken from your life for something that you didn't do is a bit out of order, isn't it, really? But it seems like they love to pay the money more so. They love to pay off the money more so. So who knows? What are you thinking, Johnny?
I agree still, because like you said, we met a few people like that, innit? That years taken away from them, and it's like you can't get that time back, innit? No matter what money you get and all that stuff, it's like money, like time's valued, innit? Like you can't put money on time, innit? So yeah, man, it's a bit techie, that one still, man.
Yeah, I've got something from the chat room. A question from the chat room. It says, don't victims of violent crime and their families have a right to justice? What do you think? Do you think the families, say like one of the family member gets killed? Do you want to say if it was your family member got killed? Who knows how or whatever, yeah? Would you want to see some justice done? Would you want to see an eye for an eye, you guys?
Personally, if that was I'd want them to come on road, personally. Yeah, I'd want them to get me. I'd want them to come on road. I wouldn't want them to get. I wouldn't want them to go behind the door and get life. And two, I wouldn't want like their life to get taken, like where they just get an injection and just done like that. Nah, man, that thing's too easy, man. Too simple. But that's my preference, really, innit? Let them come on road, man.
What about you, RT?
I think the life term in it suffices if you're killing someone. But remember what you just a little bit to touching on what you spoke about earlier on about the mitigating circumstances. But no, I don't like this thing, this whole kind of eye for an eye thing. And I suppose if it was someone you knew or your loved ones, maybe you're seeing through your sort of own spectacles of hate and whatever. and you would want that instant retribution. You know what I mean? But is it really helpful? You know, I mean, does it really help? Is it really, you know what I mean, the right kind of moral thing to do, just to, you know what I mean, like a legalized form of vengeance? You know what I mean?
No, totally. No, you're right.
You know, I
you're
just
right. Does
prefer
it
them
help?
to get the life term and that's it. And maybe they can sort of rehabilitate and change a little bit there. I'm not saying I want to see them out on the streets kind of next to me, but I don't think the death penalty serves any real thing. I mean, because what's going to change, innit? You can't change, can't bring, you know what I mean, whatever happened to your loved one or your friend, you know what I mean? It can't bring them back. So no, I don't think that would be the answer, you know what I mean? But maybe in the heat of the moment, you'll say, "Yeah, I want them dead. I want them dead." You know what
about
I mean?
you? Would you want somebody killed for your family member that got killed? Would you want the eye for an eye for your family member? Yes or no? And that goes to you. What about you, Becky? Same thing for you. Would you want a family member? Would you want somebody killed just because they killed a member of your family? Would you want that, Becky? Go on, Artie. What are you saying? Yes or no? Would you like that? Would you want some retribution like that?
Unless I can do it direct. Unless I can do it direct.
So what are you saying?
I think Artie wants street retribution. He wants street retribution, but go on.
You know what I'm saying? Unless I can do it direct, then I'm happy for their man just to deal with the matter and bang the brother away or the woman, whoever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
So what you saying? You would want them to come. You would want to deal with it yourself, yeah? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. In the ideal world, you know what I'm saying? But realistically, the chances of that happening would be slim. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to let the justice system let it be, you know what I'm saying? And let the brother or, like I said, whoever get their time and do their time, and hopefully whatever happens. They change and they understand whatever happened, you know what I mean, was wrong. And, you know what I mean, people can change their way of thinking. I believe that to a point, but it depends if they're, like I said before, too tapped up already.
Isn't that the same as going back to the old school, though? Wanting to deal with it yourself, no?
A little bit like you said, you know what I mean, a little bit like that, very old school, isn't it? You know what I mean? But the chances of that happening, you know what I mean? And then even though you might get your personal retribution, you're going to then serve your time in prison. And then you know what I mean, whatever you've got left of your family or, you know what I mean, whatever your situation is at its detriment again, even more so. So yeah, it's all messed up. But no, good question, man.
Go on, as you were, old chap, as you were.
Yeah, go on. Sorry. Yeah, no. So what else I was going to say? There's a couple of more good points to make on it. And also, this is quite an important one that they talk about, which is really, really key, I think, in the death penalty nowadays and over time, is that the death penalty is applied unfairly and should not be used. And that's, again, an argument against it. Again, for you guys, you know what I mean? What do you think about that statement?
Sorry, I was just typing in the chat. What was the question, old chap?
It says the death penalty is applied unfairly and should not be used.
Unfair.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to say certain
so maybe
people,
hinting at poorer people from certain
get,
backgrounds.
I get it. Of course, I mean, if you're talking about America, yeah, which you are probably, yeah, you're talking about America, then yeah, definitely. You know, you know, a lot of ethnic people got put under that thing much more than anyone else. So yeah, I mean, it's another crutch that they use to hold over people. Do you know what I mean? What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, I agree with that as well, man. It's just, to me, I just don't think it should exist, that death penalty thing, man. I just think I don't agree with it at all, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
To me, I don't think who should decide you to get put to death. You get it? It's to me, it's pure evilness, man.
I mean, if they get who's it? The jury and then the judge will pass it, innit? The jury and the judge will pass. But you know what they're saying now, yeah? Obviously, they're saying now it serves like in mainly the States, really, as like a bargaining tool. Because they're saying that 90% of all their criminal trials are settled through plea bargains. You know what I mean? Rather than taking the whole trial through. So then sometimes if they plead guilty to an offence, then they won't get the death penalty, you know what I'm saying?
But if they take it to trial and they get found guilty, there's a chance they could get found, get the death. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But that's messed up as well then, because even if you might feel, I don't know, just say for example, you feel that you're innocent, but like you said, depending on your whatever social circumstances and your standing and who you got, then by taking things to trial and that, you know what I mean?
But
as long as you come up short.
But it's just like what they do really anyway, but obviously it's not the death penalty, but where they trick so much people into admitting to a crime that they may have done or may have not done. So
in many cases,
like you just said, because they tried to do it to me. They're like, oh, if you plead guilty to this, you'll get. I'm like, nah, I'm not pleading guilty to nothing. I didn't do nothing in it. And they're like, yeah, but if we'll give you the lesser charge if you plead out to this. But if you take it to trial, there's a chance you can get double or triple the time. And a lot of people I've seen is like, yeah, man, I'm just gonna take the plea bargain. I'm like, bro, forget about that, man. Like, take it to trial. They're like, no, but if they fight, but I get why people do plead out, innit? So if I'm in a situation where I know I'm guilty, but if they're saying, boom, if you plead guilty to this, you're gonna miss the death penalty. But if you go to trial, bro, more than likely, I'll probably plead out with the death penalty and be like, yo, just give me the 10 years and at least I'll miss out on. But it's wrong still. But these are things that happen, innit? In like over here as well. But here, it's just not the death penalty, innit? So people would just plead out anyway. But so only God knows what it feels like to know you got a death penalty hanging over your head. Of course, you're gonna plead out to that. But there's a lot of people that take it all the way, and some beat it, some don't. But it's
hard out there. That's what you're saying, especially with the circumstances. There's a good show that teacher showed me to watch, innit? You know, called Making a Murderer.
Okay.
He showed me that. I think they've done 2 seasons of it. They might be doing a 3rd one. It's on Netflix. That's really good if you haven't seen it. Try to sort of give that a whirl, and that will show you a little bit about their system. I mean, you already know how certain things are out there, and just shows you a little bit more over that if you are from a certain background and you are convicted of a crime, even if arguably you didn't do it, there's plenty of evidence to suggest that just because you're of that standing in society, then you ain't really got a chance. And that's where people will get things like death penalties flung on them, you know what I mean?
Especially if you haven't got the right legal, especially if you haven't got like proper money to get the right legal team, and you're just going with, just running with, what's it called again, man? If you're going with, if you're running with the free thing, you're basically
legal aid business, isn't it?
Yeah. But out there, I think it's even worse out in America, because we're talking about America.
Definitely. I think you get just your state attorneys and all them ones there. But this guy, because his case is so high profile, he's got one of the best lawyers trying to help him out now, who's got a load of people off out of prison and stuff. But as of yet, I don't think that's happening yet. But I know they've done 2 seasons. They might have done. I don't think they've done a 3rd yet. They haven't heard of it. So.
Yeah. What about? I got a question in the chat room. What about?
Yeah.
What would you say to the argument that death penalty can be used to reduce fight crime? What do you say to that? And all right, now Becky was saying that if it was an accident, it's a different thing. If somebody killed a family member and it was an accident. You see, but we didn't say that though, yeah? But I noticed that it could. When I asked you both that, you just assumed the worst. It could have been an accident, right? It could have been an accident, but can I take it as that? Can I take it as it was what it was? A death means a death still? Is that how you guys were saying it? A death means a death? And yeah.
No, like I said, if there's accidents and stuff, everything's got to be looked into fairly and justly, innit? And there's a lot of mitigating circumstances. That's fine, innit?
All right, fair enough. What about you, Johnny? You feel that as well?
Yeah, I feel that as well. Because if you're just willy-nilly go and pick up a banger and go and kill someone willy-nilly, then yeah, maybe that can get me. Maybe you can look at it and be like, all right, that one can go towards the death penalty, but there's still, like you said, there's different circumstances and mitigations in it. So yeah.
All right. So what about the argument about the death penalty? Can be used to reduce crime? Do you think that people, with that running over your head, you're gonna do something silly, and then you just think, oh fuck, I might get the death penalty? Won't that stop you from doing certain things? Do you think? What do you guys think?
Because sometimes when your mind's just set to do something, it's like, you know when they got that thing, think and count to 10. No one's really thinking to do that at the time. It's only when certain things happen and then you think to yourself, boy, maybe I should have stopped and thought. And that. I still think if you know the death penalty is there, you're still gonna do whatever you want to do, but it's hard to explain still, but I don't know, because it's not stopping the crime out in America, is it? Crime's still happening, isn't it? I think it's only in certain states out there. Is it only 3 states out there they have it, or something like that? So I don't know if they brought it over here, crime would still happen, but maybe it would bring it down a little, because you would have some people that would thinking, yeah, I'm not willing to dead in it, so I'm not gonna do certain things. But maybe yes.
Yeah.
Coolio.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't. Will it change over the mentality of certain stuff happening? I mean, you never know. But I think a lot of these crimes are really impulsive now, so I don't think so. I think it will still happen. Maybe it will drop off for a bit, like you said, if people are thinking, well, if they do that or they take a life, then maybe they'll lose their own as well. You know what I mean? But it's just a really subjective call. And then maybe it could be argued to bring it back just for that. Would it really help overall? And then, like we were just talking about a bit earlier on in terms of miscarriages of justice and kind of stuff like that, would the pros outweigh the cons? Maybe, you never know. But I don't think immediately. I think you might get a little drop off in it, but I think overall that problem will still be there. That needs a little bit more than sort of tougher sentencing, you know what I mean? Or the death penalty.
Roll it.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, that's really cool. Really, just kind of looking at the things and the arguments for. And it's funny when you're talking about things about if you had other stuff that you were punishable, like in Iran, if you're like if you commit adultery, drug trafficking, armed robbery, kidnapping, sort of burglary, any of that stuff, you get straight death penalty. You know what I mean? So in some places, they have it for a lot more offences than just sort of 1 or 2 things, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I don't really have too much more to say. I mean, from my own personal standpoint of it, I think it's a bit of an outdated medium. I think there's been too many people have lost their lives, which is the most important thing, arguably, from my point of view. I don't know your guys is in terms of the miscarriages of justice, and it can't bring people back. It don't matter what's happened, you know what I mean? And this sort of kind of retribution, eye for an eye stuff, I don't think it can bring people back, and we know it can't. It just is what it is, and yeah, no, I think it is an outdated thing. But I think sadly, still in a lot of these countries, especially like we said, sort of America and China, there don't seem to be any slowing down in terms of sort of them not using it, or like it doesn't matter who's in power in terms of their government, they're not showing any sort of thing to take it away. You know what I mean? Any clues to say, we want to get rid of it. It seems there, but yeah, for me, it's an outdated medium. And I think life imprisonment should, more than enough. You know what I mean, gents?
100. What, Johnny?
No, that's all I had to say on that one, really.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You done now? You done all chat with that one then? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with that one now. Thanks, guys.
That's good. It's cool.
All right. Okay. Well, listen. What about this thing? Yeah. None of us are gonna go to space, right? So we're not gonna know anything about what this one's about. Flat Earth. Flat Earth. What's going on? What do you guys think? Is the Earth round? Is it flat? Now, we all got taught our stuff when we was at school, right? Gravity and all that stuff and everything, yeah? But there's been some old chat, I was going to say new, but some old chat about people, these flat Earth peoples keep coming with their talks about this. The Earth is this because of that. What's some of the things they say? The horizon is always at eye level, yeah? You know that thing they said, you can go far down in it, as far as you can see, and it doesn't actually, the curvature, it doesn't actually curve, does it?
No, it's showing you.
That was one of the that's one of the things that they did say, innit? Yeah, because they say it's gradual. The curvature of the Earth is gradual, making it difficult to perceive with the naked eye. Yeah. So what about when you have a look without the naked eye? Then, yeah. If you actually look and you've got some kind of telescope, you know what I'm saying? Do you think you could see all the way down?
I think you get a good one, innit? You get a good telescope, you can see quite a lot, can't you?
It's true, you can see. What about the ship? If you go to certain countries, you see the ships out there as far as you can see, and you still see them really, really far. And if you had the binoculars on or something telescope, you could still see them. So what does that mean? It's not bending, right?
The curvature.
It's not bending. It's straight, isn't it?
The trick of the eye.
Could be the trick of the eye. What do you guys think? Do you think the Earth's round? Yeah, all right. Shall we go from? What do you think? What do you think of that one first?
Well, the flat Earth thing, I mean, I don't know too much about it, really. I've heard guys talking about it, and like you said, the same thing when people look for far, they can't see sort of the curvature at all. Yeah, and then, I don't know, man. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I tend to think maybe the other way around, that it's not flat, but my sort of a scientific thing, you know what I mean? You need to get some big telescope that can see way out there, you know what I mean?
100. Johnny, what do you think about that?
I'm more thinking that the world's flat because it's just what you're saying. We don't see any curves, no bends. We don't. You can't exactly. You can go as far as you want, and you ain't gonna like. It's just continuous, isn't it? You're not gonna just walk off the edge of the of the earth one day. It's just flat, man. It's just.
Oh, that's good. You think it's flat? We're gonna run you guys. Sorry, Johnny. Go on.
Yeah, I think it's flat, man. I haven't seen nothing to tell me that there's no curve or nothing. When we're walking on these flats and flat, we're walking on flat roads, flat streets. Everything's flat. Like it's just,
Yeah.
That's what I believe anyway. I believe the world's flat. It's not round. like you said, we're not gonna go to space and see. I mean, so I don't know. That's what I believe in.
No, fair enough. Well, yeah, because another one of the evidence that it's flat. They said the flight paths. Yeah, some airplane flight paths don't make sense on the globe. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, they don't make sense on the globe. Yeah.
That's quite an interesting one.
Misinterpretation of observations. Yeah. Some people misinterpret everyday observations like the flat appearance of the horizon and drawing correct conclusions. What about?
Yeah.
What did we got a chat? Is a thing in the chat. If the Earth is flat, does that mean the moon's flat? Is the moon flat?
Is it real?
Is it real for?
Is it
I
real?
don't think it's that movie. What was that movie? Truman. Is it Truman? Jim Carrey.
The Truman Show.
Oh, the Truman Show. Not where nothing's real.
From the big lie. The big lie.
Maybe.
I mean, it does look round from my view,
go
isn't it? No, I'm saying it looks round from my view, but we're thousands of miles away, apparently, isn't it? So.
Maybe nothing is what it seems, isn't it? Maybe what they're showing us is all a lie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows where?
I mean, look. None of us. You know what? What you got to look at is one of these things. Only a handful of us are going to space, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Only a handful of us are going to space now. You know, not all of us will go out there, so we don't know. You know, they could go out there and the world could look like it could be a Z.
Very big onion.
It could be a Z shape. You know, we don't even know, right? No, what do you think?
Who said that? Who said they're even going to space anyway?
Again, New Cross.
I don't know where they're going. They could just be showing us some cock and ball thing, and it ain't no. We don't know where they're going. When that thing takes off, who knows if that's even going anywhere?
Yeah. What about?
There's so much conspiracy things where you could just be thinking, bro. When you're flying, like I said, when you're on a plane going somewhere, like. Where, bro, you could just, this thing could just turn you mad, isn't it? Like, fucking hell, bro.
Yeah, what about the NASA's image library? What do you think about the pictures from NASA? Now we know some of them are doctored, some of them pictures, yeah. But are they doctored? Are they doctored for shape? Or because I know they try and put colours and all that stuff in to make it look nice and everything and all that stuff, yeah. But are they doctored in? International, what's that? Yeah, it's full of curvy pictures of the globe taken from an International Space Station. Or is NASA down for the joke as well? What do you think, Johnny? You think NASA's... I mean, shit, well, look, if you think about it, it's a lot expensive, right? How much is a rocket? A few billions, right? To send something up. Satellites are billions, yeah, isn't it? It's never cheap when they sending these things up. So what are you saying? It's a hustle. It's a serious big money hustle. Everyone's getting paid like their HS2. You remember everybody got paid off of their HS2. They kept saying, we need more money to put into it. What do you guys think?
I mean, it's definitely a hustle in terms of the sort of money that's put behind sort of NASA and their space program, however you look at it. Definitely, I think things have been doctored over time.
But do you think they doctored?
I don't know about that.
Do you think they doctored the shape though? Because some of the things that I've seen, they usually put some colours, make it look appealing and stuff like that. But did they doctor the shape?
I don't think so. What of the moon itself?
The moon? The Earth, man. The Earth, not the moon.
The Earth, no, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if they doctored the shape of it, but they definitely doctored stuff in terms of sort of images and sort of stuff that was sent up or kind of whatever, I think, you know what I mean? It's not really, I don't think you know half of what you're really supposed to know with what's going on with that, you know what I mean?
What about you,
And that's
John?
probably the little thing with sort of behind it, isn't it? You just don't really know so much. You're more sort of just going on a hunch, really, you know what I'm saying?
What about
But they're
you?
quite secretive, innit?
What about you, Johnny?
I reckon they doctored everything, man. What's it that? Where's that place again? RT? Was it Area 51? What was it? Area 51 or
Area
whatever?
51, yeah, mate.
Yeah, man. They doctor everything there. That's why it's all top secret, man. They don't want us to know what's in that place there, man. They got all the, get me? They got all the lighting and all the, get me, all the different, all the things there, man. They some funny shit, man. But yeah, man, I reckon they doctor everything, man. Everything they show us. It's like what you said at the start. Until I get to go on one of them spaceship thing there and get to fly out and see certain things, I ain't feeding what they're telling, man.
No, fair enough. I mean, well, look, it's something that nobody will know. You have to just take what they say, right? Because none of us are gonna get up there. And
No
it's
way.
It's an argument that will go on for long. Because no one's gonna go out there. No, listen, you can say what they like. You can say what you like. You know, anything outside of space, you can say what you like. Yeah, because nobody's gonna go out there and they come up with all these different galaxies and say this and that and this and that. Nobody can't even get out there. Do you know what I mean?
And even if you do get to sign up to that program thing, which we ain't gonna, but if you do, they'll probably make you take some oath thing and be like, whatever you see in this place, you can't talk, or it's just, we'll never know, innit? Whatever they go on with, we just have to just let them go on with what they're going on with, man, and just leave them to their thing, man.
That's it.
We got another thing in the chat there, unknown, from the unknown. They said the Russians also took pictures of the round Earth. So is the whole world on the hoax? Did the USA put their political tensions aside in order to keep the hoax going? Because both of the USA and the Russians had pictures of the round Earth. What do you say to that then, Johnny?
So, I'll say again, sorry.
They're saying the Russians, NASA and the Russians, they both have pictures of a round Earth. So what are you saying? They put their political tensions aside just to keep the hoax going of a round Earth. What do you think?
Well, they sound like they're all in on it, innit?
They're all in it. Yeah, they keep it original. Say no, regardless of anything, we disagree with each other, but we're gonna say the Earth is round. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying it's flat, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's one of them ones that this will go on all night, all day. You know what I mean? There's no answer to it unless we're going up there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, good.
Unless we can go somewhere right now and we get to fly and be like, come, let's go this place right now. And then, man, we just have to just listen to what they're saying, but don't feed into everything they're telling us. You get it?
That's it.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll leave that one there because there's no. It's a road that can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So listen, let's get a better couple of current affairs. What about this woman, Suella? What's she been talking about? You heard what she talked about? This woman, Suella.
Something with the Palestine and some march thing they had or something, isn't it?
She said that they're not stopping. The police ain't stopping them, but they stop anyone else except for these guys. What else did she say? She said something else about
She's saying they treat
homelessness
him
is a
better, isn't
choice. Homelessness is a
Yeah.
choice. And also, what I did see is that they said a lot of people agree with this woman, but they ain't got the stones to jump up and say what she says. What do you think of this woman? Crazy woman, outdated, or speaking people's mind? What do you guys think?
I don't really know a lot what she said, really, but from what you're telling me, it's very outspoken. But the things that she says, I don't know. It's like some of the things she says, you can say, yeah, it's not bullshit that she's talking in it. But there's other things she says, and I'm like, boy, like you're kind of outdated with that opinion, or you're wrong with that, innit? But to me, I don't think she should be in the job, man. I just think because is she the same one that was sending everyone to Rwanda? Or she's the same one, innit, that said send all the immigrants on that to Rwanda or something. I think she's the one doing all of these things. So I just think she all this job's over her head. Yeah, I mean, she's too far gone now. My man should just get rid of her and just, I don't bring someone else in, man, because she ain't the one, man.
Artie, what do you say to that?
Yeah, she's coming across not well, is she, lately? The way she's been speaking and carrying herself, really, talking about how, like you said, those protesters were being favoritised. Homelessness is a choice, you know what I mean? Obviously, you wouldn't have a clue about that. So, sadly, I think she's coming across very outdated. But sadly, generally, that's the way with a lot of the guys there now, isn't it? It's seem really outdated, not in touch with sort of society and people as a whole, you know what I mean? Maybe have a look around Westminster. There's a lot of homeless people around there. I'm sure it's not all a choice for them people there, you know what I'm saying?
Well, fair enough. All right, fair enough. What about AOB? AOB, guys. AOB.
AOB, what's been happening? That was a good game today, chaps. You see the 4-4 boys?
Didn't see it.
So bits and pieces of it. I kept turning around and seeing goals and stuff. Yeah, that was a good game. City dropped some more points. So yeah, it's all tight at the top, isn't it? Really, if you look, everyone's quite close now. You got even down to Villa, isn't it?
They said 5 points separate the top 5 or 6 or some madness like that.
Yeah, no, it's looking like a good race this season. A lot of good teams. Saw that. What else? There was UFC this weekend. I watched that last night. That's pretty good.
Was there?
Don't talk about that one. We'll leave that one.
No, I won't, man. It's worth a watch. Have a look at it online.
What about Thingy? Did Haaland score today?
He did.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He got a pen in it.
Oh, only a penalty. Oh, okay. The new Harry Kane, innit? It seems like he doesn't really score no goals no more, innit? Proper goals. He takes 2 and 3. He's coming like the Heskey, innit? He takes 2 and 3 chances to score 1 goal.
Oh no, he got 2. He got another one. 2. He bundled it in, innit? Yeah, he bundled it in.
I just saw it. The bundle.
Little bundler. Yeah, he bundled it in. But no, good game, man. Chelsea give them a lot of problems, man.
And that's just a shock. That's a shock to me, because I thought Chelsea were going downhill basically. So yeah.
No, they seem to be finally finding form, innit? That guy, innit? Cole Palmer looks good, and they seem to be getting a little bit of form going now.
I think they said since the Arsenal 2-2 draw, they've been getting good results, isn't it?
Yeah, because they drew with you guys, beat Tottenham, drew with City, And early on in the season, they drew with Liverpool. So they've played like the hard team. So if they could get a run together, they might be a bit competitive going for the top 4. But yeah, have a look at that UFC chaps online. It's well worth a watch on it on the highlight reel. Was there any? I didn't see any other boxing this week.
What, no, Harlem. I like
Harlem
in the
Eubank. I
place.
missed him. Did he win on Friday?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
He was on Channel 5, Bernie Harlem.
Oh Lord, go on.
Exactly. Just forget it. Just forget about it. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth talking. Listen. Anyway, thanks guys. Yeah, for tonight. Nice one. Yeah, nice one. Big up Becky Lou for the comments and everything. Yeah. And
Big
the
up.
unknown. Big up the unknown.
Big up.
Yeah, good work, guys. What, next week? Yeah? Next week, same time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Same time, same channel.
No worries, guys. Blessings, yeah?
Have a good one, guys. Take care. Stay happy.
Bless up.
Yeah, bless up, guys.